You're absolutely right. We're looking at Florida-friendly landscaping, and so one of the books we're using is published by the state of Florida, actually the University of Florida. It's IFAS, the Institute of Food and Agricultural Sciences, and that's everything that the master gardeners talk about is based on research from the University of Florida. And those are the documents that Ralph Mitchell has distributed to all the team members. And so all of our plants are coming out of those books, and some of them may not be native, but they have been found to be acceptable. They're not...
they're Florida friendly. They're
Florida friendly, and they're not found to be, I'm thinking of the word noxious, because that was in Colorado where I was a master gardener. Invasive, there you go. Invasive is the word. They're not invasive plants. Some plants that were well intended have been found to take over the landscape, and so we're not looking to use those. We're looking to use the plants that are found to be low maintenance, and even though it might not be a indigenous to this area, it will work very well here. And so those are
right. Yeah, I have one other request, and again, everything that seems to be done in Charlotte County anymore is farmed out to another county's people. Try to keep it local instead of farming things out to other counties, as far as the people that are doing the work.
Well, that goes to, those are ordinances set forth by the county on the bidding process.
Yeah, I've had discussions with some county officials about that, because the first thing that occurred to me is, why don't we keep it local? And there's a certain dollar amount you can give out without having to go through the bid process, but these projects we're going to be doing, I think, is going to exceed that number at the initial installation. So you do, as part of being a steward of the taxpayers' money, you have to find the lowest qualified bidder, and you have to put it out to bid, and it may not be a local vendor. I mean, I hope it is, but...
yeah, if we're talking about lawn maintenance, you kind of want someone...
Yeah. We do have...
yeah, we're coming up from Broward.
We do have, as part of the bid process, though, and I believe it does depend on the dollar amount, but we do have some local business preference rules identified in there, where the bidders would sign affidavits saying that they are from the local area and things like that. So I believe that the rule right now is if a local bidder is within 5% of the lowest responsive bidder, then that local bidder gets a chance to
match it. Yeah.
One thing I've learned through this process is that, in government, coming from the private sector, I like to get things done right away. Just like I cleaned up that section of 41, I picked up the phone and got my crew out there and cleaned it in a few hours. I've learned you can't do that. and the wheels turn, but they turn slowly. You just have to make sure they're turning in the right direction. So I've kind of had to scale back on. I like to be aggressive and get things going, but I push, but unfortunately, there is a process, and you have to follow that. It's, when you're dealing with the public, it's just a different story from private.
Sadly.
But I tell you a lot. It's kind of a funny story. I'm getting to know some of the team members here on the landscape committee, and one guy, Greg O'Connor, he's a project manager, and we do a lot of emails back and forth, and he's kind of showing me the ropes on how things work with the county, and if I have an idea how I should circulate it. And it's funny because he's from the same area as me. He's upstate New York. We started talking before one of the meetings, and his area, he started talking about these rabbits, and how it was a delicacy up there. And I said, well, I'm from Cobleskill. I said, our delicacy was squirrel. So we were comparing recipes and notes on squirrel stew and roasted rabbit. So it's kind of a camaraderie. You get to know people and get things done. But coming from the outside, you always think government workers, well, there's one guy working and 5 guys watching, and that's not true. There's really 2 guys working and 5 guys watching. So, I can say that because Bob's not here. No, I'm only kidding. Everybody really, I think, is trying to participate together to get something done. And I think we're starting to come together and realize, what the purpose of this is, and maybe it's more than just trees and bushes. So that's what we're really trying to get across.
All right.